Hello, everyone, and welcome to game number 1. We have ourselves TPA versus JSMS, which is Jamais Sans Mon Saucisson. Or Jamais Sans Mon Saucisson. And we are going into this. We have, of course, on TPA, if those of you that weren't watching TGL yesterday, we have a little bit of change on who their monster player is, and I'm going to spoil the surprise right now. You guys ready for this? You guys ready? Whoa-bam! We're looking at a Bugsy Kraken coming in. And we have ourselves Jamais Sans Saucisson coming in with Cerberus Soul, Jesus, LV, and Mini CP. And we do see we have a Val Hank with an Abe Torvald composition. Going into this, this is game number 1 of the series. Let's make sure we have the right score up. So, we're going into this, and right now, one thing that you may notice is that things are slightly different in regards to the compositions lately. We're seeing a lot more Val Hanks. We're going to have to see what sort of perks and choices they make with this lineup. I'm so excited to see this match. We have a Torvald with a Val Hank with an Abe. That's going to be team slows for days, which is going to slowly pull down that Kraken, forcing him down to the ground. So let's take a look and see how they get over this through the course of the game. We're probably going to see Bugsy go along the southern route with a hook down towards the front here. So he's going to go down this way, and he's going to hook that way. That way he gets a full evolve meets, while he's actually able to maintain some distance. He only loses a little bit of distance if they know what route he's taking. There's an alternative route, which isn't as popular, which is when you go right this way and up, which is actually looks like that may be what he's doing, or he might be hooking. We don't know. So let's take a look at what perks they're choosing with this composition. We have damage output on Kraken. We have capacity increase on Torvald. DR is always being used on the medic, which is a great thing to use nowadays, because DR, for some reason, is actually just... It's just working so well with the recent changes to damage output. Getting another 10% just makes it so the Val Hank composition can out-heal it for at least a stage 1. We have capacity increase as well on Hank, which is great to block lightning strikes and aftershocks, making sure that he's able to recharge in between. And of course, we have movement speed on our Trapper. Now, if we look at the skill builds for the monster, we see a 1-point Lightning Strike, a 1-point Aftershock, and a 1-point Vortex, which means that he's not looking to farm exceptionally fast because we see 0 Banshee Mines. He's looking more so for combat strength at Stage 2 and Stage 3. He wants to maximize his point strength, so he's going to be able to make sure he saves those points. As you see him right now going out into the water and just stealthing his way through there, which is actually very interesting. Let's not reveal this, okay, guys? So let's take a look at what Mini's doing right now. Mini is right now looking over on the front. He's actually looking right at the water right now, but does he see him over on the right side there? It doesn't look like he does. He's just looking around on there. And let's take a look at Jesus' perspective. Jesus can't see him through the wall. Okay, so let's look at LV. LV has him on the waterfront. Does he see him out there, though? Doesn't look like he does. He's going to be hooking around, going down to the west. And we see LV doesn't know where he is, so he's going to be heading north. They're trying to find out where he went. This hunter team is extremely confused. They don't know where he is. He juked them with the waterfront. So let's take a look at our monster right now. He's now on the other side of the map just because of this stealth maneuver. Pushes his way forward. He's got another 3 meets here. Sorry, 4 meets. He's not even worried about stealthing at this point because he's so far away they can't hear him. So let's see where they are right now. They know they heard something maybe? I don't know, but they're all... No, they still don't know. They're heading up to the caves to check that out. We have our assault checking the waterfront. He's going to be looking for any sign of indication of what's going on. Bugsy looks like he's going to be getting a stage 2 nice and early. So they're going to hear this, and suddenly you're going to notice that they're all going to be heading down that direction. They know he's down there. All the pings are flying. They all have their headsets on, full surround sound, ready to go, and they can hear him. They know where he is approximately, so they're going to be heading right down that direction. Birds are even coming in to give them a little bit of an indication. As you see, we are into a 2-point Lightning Strike, 2-point Aftershock, and 2-point Vortex, this is exactly what I was referring to when I say combat strength. This is a pure combat build. He's not looking to farm necessarily fast. He was relying on that early game stealth maneuver in order to force his way through to stage 2 and get it without losing any health. And he is getting pinged. We see that reticle there from the new accessibility options, which helps colorblind people and all that jazz. But as we look right now, it's going to come down to LV's positioning at this point. LV is keeping himself on the middle ground. That way he knows he's going to get this dome because he knows how critical this is. Mini's already at the relay, ready to shoot, and make sure that if he goes that way, he's going to get some chip damage. Right now, Bugsy is behind some rocks. And he's going to try and get past Mini without taking as much chip damage as possible. While Mini's trying to do the opposite and deal as much chip damage as possible. So we see the Tranks are coming out, and he's just going to be slowed down. We see that green outline there means that he's been tranked. So Val's going to be able to make sure she gets that at a long distance. We might even see a headshot at this point, just to get a little bit more. Stasis grenades are being thrown. We see that we have a couple already by LV, trying to slow him down. And right now he is actually not within. There you go. Now he's in outside, inside, outside. And there you go. He threw it, and the monster is actually inside the dome with a large waterfront, which means it's going to be relatively open with a little bit of terrain in here in order to protect themselves. This is actually a great dome for the Hunters because they're going to be able to mitigate and protect themselves with terrain in these areas while making sure the Kraken has very little area in order to protect himself. He only has this one spot and maybe one on the other side, but either side he will be getting shot at once they get into position. Orbital barrage being thrown just because they can. And he's going to be going in right now. We see the orbital mortar cannons are being fired. We have the auto attacks being done. Here comes the Vortex into the lightning strike on Hank. Doesn't quite connect though. Jesus dodges it and just walks through it. Here comes the 3-man aftershock, going to be connected and drops right down. Stealth Pounce coming in. Hits Cerberus. Mini's doing what he can with the mortars, but it's not quite enough with the damage. He's only now breaking through the health. Here we go. Now they're starting to get through it. You see Lightning Strike coming in. It connects on Mini. Mini's actually going to get Stealth Pass to try and finish off, but not quite able to finish. Here comes the second Aftershock. Connects. Doesn't quite finish off Cerberus, though, as he's able to heal burst through it. And here comes the shields from Hank, and he keeps Cerberus up. DR coming into full effect here. Down to 1 HP, and down goes Cerberus. So Bugsy makes that dome worthwhile as he's down only about 2.5 bars of health. He's going in. Here comes the next Aftershock. Drops right down. Doesn't connect on LV. Mini right now is just shooting at it from the distance. We have Jesus over in the corner, and we see LV is just trying to pick up that body, but he does not want that medic revived. If that medic gets revived, then that means that all this damage that he's doing to all the other ones doesn't mean anything. If that medic goes into dropship, that means that he can constantly deal damage and poke at him while dealing a little bit. And it looks like medic is now in dropship. He has changed that 2 and a bit for strike into a down on medic, which means that he'll be able to slowly force his way forward with more strikes on the other hunters, which is a key factor. So what he's going to do, what Bugsy's goal, the monster goal at this point, is to back away, get some armor, re-engage. Back away, get some armor, re-engage. Back away, get some armor, re-engage. As soon as he loses armor, he disengages each time. That's the plan. Doesn't need full armor, just needs a little bit. Enough to go in and poke out. That's really all he needs. But in that case, you're looking at this Hunter team and you're saying, hey, what's their plan right now? We take a look over at Mini, and we'll notice that they are actually staying in a defensive position for a Stage 3 fight, as they want to buy out that timer. They know he doesn't have full evolve meter, so it's going to have to kill time. Mini right now is going around just trying to kill everything, including this Tyrant over on the side. So again, they're just preparing for Stage 3. They say, you know what? Fine. You won the Stage 2 fight. That's okay. We'll take you Stage 3, and we'll fight you off that way when we have our medic. Because they want their medic around. They don't want any ifs, ands, or buts. They want to be able to go in and do that. And right now they're actually using a team cloak so that they get no additional downs, and that way they're not able to find anything. So he's going to go here, get his food, and he's going to be going immediately on that relay. And he's going to try and destroy the relay, get that down, and get a little bit of damage in. Because there's still a good amount of time until medic. As you can see in the top left-hand corner, there's still 33 seconds, plus the dropship timer, which is another 30 seconds, approximately. So you look at that, and you say, hey, alternative win conditions are what you're going to be dealing with. Bugsy just choosing to play it safe, breaks line of sight, and goes behind here before he goes after that relay. So we're going to see what he chooses for his 3 skills for Stage 3. Does he choose to go full damage, or does he choose to get some points in Banshee Mines? I'm going to say he's probably going to go 3-3-3. Yeah, there he is. So he's going to be going straight after that, and he's going to be trying to deal as much damage as possible. He has the widest aftershock he can possibly have. There's even a Tyrant here to give him some meats. Here comes the medic, though. Medic is on dropship, ready to drop in. This is the queen bee of this situation right now. She is the one that is needed and required at this point. The hunters are waiting for him to arrive, and they're just saying, you know what? We'll take it. Stage 3. It's our only option, because if you fight Stage 2 without a medic, you're in for some hurt, because you can't heal that damage, and even if he disengages, he can quickly re-engage. And get it. All you're doing engaging with the medic is asking for downs. You might be able to survive and get some damage in, but he's got way too much health to be able to chase and provoke a fight. Mini, however, is going to get healed up immediately once he drops in. Here comes the Lightning Strike, goes for LV, doesn't connect an LV. Stasis grenades are being spammed out there as he's going right for it. Does, however, smell out Cerberus, and he goes right on him. Here comes the drop. Doesn't quite connect on Cerberus, though. Yank Shield's going to be coming, trying to keep that medic alive. Here, even the Stealth Bout's getting through, just push him, trying to get him away and break that line of sight from Jesus, but it's not quite enough to push him out. Here comes the Aftershock drop, and he's going to drop right on Cerberus. There's the hit, and there's the low health. Shayla. Hank Shield's coming in last second, keeping him up, and that's the only thing keeping Cerberus up right now is that Hank Shield, while he's waiting on it, he does finally get the heal burst, which keeps him up. Aftershock going to be used, and then to the Vortex combo, which means he's down. Jesus shoot him at a long distance now. Medic is now down. We got almost 5 bars of health, almost gone. Now, as he's just trying to deal more and more damage, as Mini's just shooting at him with that shotgun and mortar combo, trying to get it picked off. Shields being used, and they're doing everything they can to try and force it out. And they're used the that was a really good play. However, they were not quite able to execute it, which what they did there was exceptional. They threw the dome to block the lightning strike, okay, and to block Bugsy from being able to do anything. That way, Bugsy was on the outside, and they could get the resurrection without the monster being able to hit them from the outside. If he was able to get that resurrection on LV as he sprinted forward, that means the medic would be up right now, and they'd be ready to engage again. As much as the medic would have 2 strikes, they'd be in a good position to re-engage, as opposed to right now where they have no medic. And right now we do see we have the Aftershock dropping in on Jesus. Jesus is going to get smacked with it. However, we do have a cloak. Nope, not quite a cloak. Can't quite tell in those bushes, but here we go. So Hank's down now. It's just Mini and LV versus the mighty Kraken. And he dodges the lightning strike perfectly at the last second with that jetpack. That's how you dodge a lightning. And as LV is going through, just dealing damage with that shotgun. And he's going to see him burst backwards. Not quite have enough jetpack, though. Has to wait a little bit. And we see that Mini's going for the resurrection. Vortex coming in. Here comes the lightning strike. Going to be finishing up Jesus, but Mini uses his personal shield to keep himself alive. Stealth bounce being used. He's going straight after LV. Doesn't connect though on LV. LV's going to be able to back away from it and not take that much damage. It's only Mini now. Mini versus the Kraken. He's got 3 bars of health. And it's right now down to 1 shot. If he gets 1 good mortar off, that's it. But he gets the stealth bounce, which means that Monster wins game number 1. Going in favor of Bugsy, giving 1 point to TPA on this side, which makes it a 1-0 lead. Now, if we take a look at that game, if we look at the post-game stats, what we're seeing right now is damage done by the monster was 26,690, which means that about 3,000 of it was due to the damage perk. And as we look at it, we're going to see that that's the effectiveness of the damage perk, was his ability to push through the damage reduction. If he didn't have the damage perk, the damage reduction would have came into more of an effect, and he would have been able to do a lot more damage on it, and sorry, the hunters would have been able to do more damage because their monster hunter would have been up, which is the medic, and they would have been able to push through. But because of the choice of damage perk to counter damage reduction, you're going to notice that little things like that are what comes into effect here. As much as the medic was extremely tanky, dodged as much as they can, or used all the jetpack they could to dodge, wasn't quite enough in order to keep themselves alive. But it'll be interesting to see what they changed in game number 2. Maybe they changed their perks up a little. Instead of going damage reduction, maybe combo it up with something else. Maybe change up a Val for a Kyra, someone that can heal themselves a little bit more effectively with that damage reduction would be an option. Or maybe someone with a cloak would be an option as well, because you can see that we have Lazarus becoming a more viable pick lately because of his cloak protection and everything else, especially against the Kraken, because they have very poor visibility against him. But in the meantime, guys, this is where we do a quick fade in, fade out for the VODs as we go into game number 2 of this side. So thanks for watching. Thanks for being awesome. And we'll be back in a minute with game number 2 of TPA versus JSMS.